Hi there. I thought I'd try my hand at predicting the future. We have people ask us all the time, what's going to happen? What's going on? What's going to happen next year? And I always tell them I have no idea what's going to happen. That's not my job. I don't have a crystal ball. But then I realize I do have one. Well, it's actually a glass ball from the beach in Urilla Bay. And if you know where Urilla Bay is, then you're a real Alaskan. But that ball doesn't seem to do very good for predicting the future. So I did a bunch of research, and I'm going to try my best. And honestly, I'm not sure how it's going to turn out, but we'll see. So here's what it looks like. First, we think we're unusual here in the Valley in that our market is kind of nuts. But as I did the research, this is normal all the way across the country. There's only a few places where it isn't normal, and that is New York City, San Francisco, Chicago, and maybe a few other places like that. Other than that, everybody else is buying houses faster than they can put them on the market. So, in fact, some places are worse than our place. And our inventory is lower than it's ever been. I mean, last week was lower than ever. And last year, this time, it was twice what we have now. And even then, last year was lower than normal. So that's what's going on. Our inventory is ridiculously low. We have ridiculously low interest rates. Interest rates, they've never been this low. I used to tell people you should buy a house that's going to go up, and then every time I turn around, it'd go down. And that's why I'm nervous about predicting, but I honestly don't think they can go down much farther than they are now. Back in when I got in the real estate, which is a long time ago, 30 years ago, interest rates were around 12%. And I had a magazine article that I kept for years and years, but finally lost, that said, we will never see single-digit interest rates again. And so, of course, when interest rates dropped to 9%, wow, that was a huge deal. We crowed about it from the tops of the roof. But now look at where they are. In 2013, they dropped to 4.5%. We thought that was amazing. 4.5% interest rate in 2013. And they went up a little bit after that, but then in 2016, they dropped down again to 3.5%. And that was amazing. And then they went up, and in fact, part of 2019, they're at 5%. But now they're about 2.75. We just had somebody close 2.5. I've heard lower than that. They bounce around every day, and there are different types of loans where you can get different interest rates. Some of them are even under 2, but don't count on that for yourself. But I have seen them. I expect interest rates to go up a little bit, but I don't expect them to go up much. Okay, I'll throw a number out there, 3.5% maybe. I hate to do that, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. Maybe by the end of the year, I might say 3.5%, but I don't see much difference. I don't in our market based on that. That's still a very low interest rate. So it's definitely a seller's market. I mean, it's a screaming seller's market. Usually when we see what we call our absorption rate below 3 months, we say it's starting to be a seller's market. Absorption rate is the rate at which all the houses would sell if no houses were put on the market. So at the rate they're selling now, if they all sold in 3 months, that would be the absorption rate. If no one put their house on the market, they just sold at that rate. Well, now we're looking at an absorption rate of less than 1 month. And sometimes it's like 2 weeks, which is, crazy. So we've never seen a seller's market like this. And this is good for sellers, but it's bad for a lot of other people. The other thing we haven't seen before in the Valley is the rate of appreciation we've seen this year. And I don't know what it is yet. It's still hard to measure, but it's definitely over 10%. I don't think it's pushing 20%. Martha did a video, which I'm going to link to here, and you should look at it, where she compared January this year to January last year. And she also compared the average sales price, and the difference is stark. Quite amazing. So you'll have to look. Now, prices are going up. I think they're going to continue to go up. I think we're going to see interest rates stay low so that prices will continue to go up. And because they're going, the reason they're going up is we just have there's nothing to buy. So people are competing for houses, and that's what's driving the prices up. It's not uncommon at all to see 4, 5, 6, 7 offers on a house. 2 offers is fairly normal. And you know that somebody's losing out when they get, 2 offers on a house, so one person doesn't get it. And that never goes over well with that person or their realtor. So I think that kind of stuff is going to continue through 2021. I do see some clouds on the horizon. We'll talk about those later. But one thing I do think is going to start slowing down is the refi market. At least I hope it does. You would think that everybody who was going to refinance their house had done so by now. And if you haven't done so, and you have an interest rate that's higher than 4 or 5, I talked to somebody last week at an interest rate of 6. What in the world's holding you back? If you can refinance, do it. You can cut that interest rate in half. It's pretty amazing. So you should do it. But I think that'll slow down. I think the interest rates are going to go up a little bit. I think the most of the refi people hopefully are already done refiing, which will free up the title companies and will hopefully get back to 45-day closings instead of 60-day closings and 75-day closings because they're so booked. The title companies said just part of this year they've just been totally buried. So hopefully we see that. This has been very, very tough for first-time homebuyers. First-time homebuyers usually are in the market, under 300. I mean, the average sales price across the valley right now is 300. And if you're looking for a house under 200, there's almost nothing out there that's financeable. And if there is, you better grab it because you're going to be competing with other people under 200. Most of the houses are between 200 and 300 that we still call first-time homebuyer houses. And this is pretty rough to make that kind of an income if you're just starting out in life and you really haven't worked up the ladder at all. It makes it pretty rough. I'm going to talk about some of the clouds on the horizon. This last year, we've seen delinquency rates jump, especially on FHA loans. In fact, right now, the delinquency rate on an FHA loan is 4 times what it was at the beginning of 2019. 4 times. VA loans are also behind by record numbers, but those are national numbers. I looked at Alaska, and Alaska is not doing so as badly as those places are in people behind on their loans. But still, looking at Alaska, think about this. In Anchorage, the biggest city in the whole state, almost half the population, has pretty much closed down restaurants and other businesses. And those are the first-time homebuyer people. Now they're stuck in a rental, and maybe they can't even make a payment on that, and their landlords can't kick them out. All these things are just like backing up a big dam. And I don't know when that dam's going to burst, but if it does burst, if we can't figure out how to let it out slowly, it's going to be bad news. But I don't think it's going to happen in 2021. I think it's going to be 2022 before these kinds of things happen. Forbearance on loans where you can't foreclose on a house. It's been extended to the end of March, and I'm guessing it's going to extend farther than that. Look what happened to the tourist industry. They have shut down for the foreseeable future cruise ships to Alaska. So tourism's really going to hurt for the second year in a row in Alaska, and that really is a chunk of the economy. It's nothing like oil or anything, but it still is a big chunk of the economy, especially Southeast. I'd hate to be in the Southeast towns again, looking forward to another year like last year. That's going to be rough. I don't know exactly what's going to happen there. The oil field, well, Biden shutting down Keystone Pipeline, that may help us on our oil prices. I don't know. We'll see. But we still need the oil coming out of North Slope. But he's also, according to everything I've read, shut down or maybe already did, shut down all the federal land. So there's not a lot of places where you can explore for more oil. Hillcorp, though, is doing a pretty good job up there, just scraping out the last bit of oil in every one of those wells. BP gave up, and Hillcorp figured out how to get more oil out of the same wells. So, kudos to them. I hope they keep doing that. But other than that, I don't see a whole lot different. I think we're going to continue on the way we are. I hope inventory goes up, at least in the spring. Most people do put their houses on the market in the spring. But the people that put their houses on the market are the ones that are going to move, and so where are they going to move to? Every place else in the country is in the same boat we are. They have low inventory, high demand, and a lot of people are just staying put where they are if they can. In the valley here, we do have a lot of people moving in. You can look at the go down to downtown Palmer and look at the U-Haul parking lot. It's crammed with trucks and trailers, and those are from people that have driven up the highway and left them there, and nobody to bring them back out. So that's what's going on in the whole valley. We're still people moving in, and if you've gone up to the Hatcher Pass area around Palmer Fishick Road, getting close to Turner's Corner up there, developments going in everywhere. They're hidden. You have to drive down those side roads, but there are hundreds of lots going in there, and those are all going to be built on in the next couple of years. I think most of the lots are already bought up, and there's a few more coming on the market here soon, and those will probably be bought too. So that's what's going on. More of the same, but not as much. That's my prediction. Talk to you later.